When my younger sister gave me a blessed pendant, I immediately hung it around the neck of a pregnant sow. In my past life, my sister and I got pregnant at the same time, and she bought an expensive blessed pendant from Tenezia to ensure my baby and I would be safe and sound. I was touched, and I wore the pendant every day. Months later, my sister and I went into labor at the same time. I gave birth to a deformed, dead fetus, while my sister gave birth to a healthy, chubby baby boy. My in-laws thought I had cursed my son to death and would also end up bringing misfortune to their family, so they drugged me and sold me to Tenezia. I was turned into a freak show and placed inside a vase to become a public spectacle for all who came to see me. It was only after my death that I found out it had all been my sister's doing. She had known from the start that there was something wrong with her baby, which was why she got me the blessed pendant to exchange the fates of our babies. When I opened my eyes again, I smiled as I stared at the round belly of the sow. Eliza, I went to Tenezia specifically to get a blessed pendant for you as protection. It's worth several $100,000, and I got two, one for each of us. I jerked awake when I heard the familiar voice. When my younger sister Denise placed the pendant in my hand, I realized I had been reborn. I immediately touched my belly, and I felt a sharp pain in my heart. At the thought of how much pain I had suffered before my death, I wanted to tear Denise and Simon apart. However, I had to suppress my hate and remind myself to stay calm. I had to protect my son in this lifetime and make sure that he was safely born. When Denise saw me staying silent, she thought I was so touched that I was unable to say anything. She tried to put the blessed pendant around my neck. I instinctively slapped the pendant away from her hand. When Simon, who was sitting next to me, saw what I did, he jumped from his seat agitatedly. "Are you crazy, Eliza? Why are you being so rude?" He bent over to pick up the pendant while Denise stood at the side, looking so upset that she was about to cry. "Don't you like the pendant I got you, Eliza? It's a token of my appreciation for you. That pendant will bless you and your child with a safe delivery." Simon quickly comforted her. "Eliza is just too happy to receive such a precious gift, Denise. Why wouldn't she like it? I'll accept the pendant on her behalf. Don't worry about it." I stayed quiet as I watched them put up their acts. What a joke to see my husband and his sister-in-law play an improv scene in front of me. I smiled and walked over to them to take the pendant from Simon. "Why wouldn't I like something Denise got for me? Please don't be mad at me, Denise. I didn't slap the pendant away on purpose." Denise sighed with relief when she saw me accepting the pendant. She quickly came over to help me put it on. "This blessed pendant really works, Elise. You can't take it off after you put it on. Simon, you need to make sure Eliza remembers to wear it all the time. She can't take it off. It's the only way to ensure that mother and baby are safe and sound." He quickly agreed to it. That was when Simon's phone rang, and after picking up the call, Denise and Simon exchanged a look. He then said, "Both you sisters should catch up. I need to head back to the office for work." Denise was worried I would take off the pendant after Simon left. She kept holding my hand and following me everywhere, while telling me all sorts of stories to convince me how effective the pendant was at giving me and my baby protection before she left. From the way Denise was acting, I was convinced that the pendant would only work if I kept it on me all the time. Once she left, I took the pendant off right away and started using a scanner to scan every inch of the house to ensure that there was no surveillance set up to watch me. Only after doing that did I feel safer. Next, I took out my phone to share a few photos of the pendant with my secretary to get her to have a duplicate of it made as soon as possible. My secretary was very efficient. It did not take her long to deliver the package to me. I smiled as I looked at the exact replica of the pendant. Now that I had been reborn into this lifetime, my main mission was to ensure that my son was born strong and healthy. I headed to the most expensive and safest maternity hospital in the city for a full body checkup. I finally stopped worrying only after the doctor told me that the baby in my belly was healthy. After that, I headed to my grandmother's house, and I put the pendant around the pregnant sow that my grandmother was raising. I headed home after I was done. While I was on the road, Simon called me on the phone.